router on a stick configuration and verification. First of all, we need to create our topology, and the way we do it is as we have been doing it for a couple of labs for now. If you click browse and go back to projects, copy and paste whatever you have on your clipboard. So in my case, I have a router on a stick, and I will write down or paste configuration and verification. So it makes sense for me. I will click save, click OK. Once I do that, I have a empty topology to work with. What I will do is I will drag and drop one router and one switch, and I will drag and drop two PCs, virtual PCs, because I need them. I need to test some connectivity between the PCs. So what I'm creating now is the router on a stick topology. So this is how you create it. Okay, this is the router. Let me just change the router name. So I will just change it to HQ, and this is switch 1. Okay, so this is basically the branch switch, and this is the headquarters. So on this topology, small offices mostly uses. So that is our let me just connect this to, that is our topology. Okay, so let me just make it look good, and I'll just change the font color, and I will make this 16. Click OK, and I've just changed the color as well on the HQ. All I will do is I will just right click and change the symbol for this PC so they will look good. Let's change it to that, and change the font color as well of the PC names. Now we have that. What we need to do is we need to put it on. Our topology is completed, so I need to put all these 4 nodes. You can see all of them are red. So what you can do is you can go individually on top of it and start it, or you can just start all of them at one time and they will be on. We'll just wait for it while the router and the switch are booting up. In the meantime, what I will do is I will name my connections. So if you just, the way you just label your connections, if you just click here, it will automatically generate labeling for you for all the topology instead of writing it down one by one. What I will do is I will just make this font smaller so it will look good on the topology. I'm not really taking a lot of time in here because all these are booting up. So what you can do is you can just console them in if you want individually or all together at one time, and all of them will be console in. The software I'm using to connect to these nodes called Secure CRT, and Secure CRT is a commercial software that you need to buy the license for, but it will create these nice tabs for you. So it's got its benefits, and but still you have to pay for it. Secure Super Petty, I think, does this as well, but I never used it before, so I can't comment on that. Once your device is finished booting up, you will see these messages coming up, and that means the device has been booted. Okay, so let's go back to our topology for 1 second and see how our devices are connected. What we have in here is topology. It's called router on a stick. So we have this router. Let me get my pen. We have a router here, which is the headquarter, and we have a switch here. So this switch will have a trunking connection to the router. So this switch have a VLAN, let's say VLAN. Okay, it's hard to write anything with the mouse. So VLAN 10 and VLAN 30 example. So this side is VLAN 30 and this side is VLAN 10. So what we need is we need those two VLANs to communicate, let's say. So what you will have is this PC1 go all the way here and come back, and it will communicate with PC2. So let's say PC2 is different department than PC1 because they are in different VLANs. So that is basically the concept behind router on a stick. And you will have let me just clear this. And the other way you can use it, router on a stick, is you can route all your VLANs basically to go outside world, yeah, to the corporate network. So they have more PCs here, more cloud. It's just funny looking cloud, but anyway, you have all your networks there, so you can communicate it that way, or they can be communicated internally. Because normally when you create when you have a VLAN, like let's say on this switch, you basically separate it, yeah. So you have a VLAN 30 here and VLAN 10 there, yeah. So basically what you did now is they logically you separate them. So this VLAN 10 cannot communicate with VLAN 30 unless you do some routing. So this is one way of doing the routing, router on a stick, yeah. Okay, let's go back and go to our configuration and do the actual configuration. So what we need to do is we need to go to the switch first and create the VLANs. So we will go to privilege mode and go to global configuration mode. Once we are in a global configuration mode, first of all, let's create VLAN 10 and name it Salis, yeah. Exit out of here and create VLAN 30 name, and we will call it HR, human resource, and exit out of here. Okay, so our VLANs have been created. Do show VLAN brief, yeah. We can see we have two VLANs, but there's no ports assigned to them yet, so we will come to that. Each VLAN, when we create it, what we need to create SVI's visual interface for the VLAN, yeah. So this is how you do it. You just write down interface VLAN and the VLAN number. Once you are in there, we will assign an IP address to the address 172.17.10.2, and this is the IP address I'm giving, yeah. So this .10, I will know it because it will be, that is the VLAN number. So 0, enter, and I will say no shutdown. It will not come up for a reason, because I haven't assigned any ports to it. It will stay down, you see. So once I assign ports to it, it will come up, you will see. Okay, enter, interface VLAN 30, IP address 172.30.10.2.255.255.255.0. that is the VLAN 30. Okay, and I will just say no shutdown, but it will not make any difference. What I will do is I will go and assign this port VLAN 10 and this port VLAN 30. So this port will be in VLAN 30, this port will be in VLAN 10. So let's go back to our console and do that. Okay, the way you do it is you need to go inside the interface you want. So let's start with 0/1 and convert the port to access port first before you do anything. Enter switch port access, and the way you convert it is switch port mode access, and this is how you assign a port to a VLAN. Switch port access VLAN and the VLAN number 10. Okay, now we've done that. Let's do some verification. Do show VLAN brief, yeah, and you see that VLAN 10 port, this port which we did assign it to this VLAN now, so you can see it moved down. So when we come back here, this port will be moved down here to VLAN 30, yeah. So let's go inside the port 0/2, and we will assign we will convert this port to access port. If you can see it, this VLAN come up now, yeah, while I was talking. So Okay, let me just do it quickly. This one, access VLAN 30. Okay, so now we have assigned ports to our VLAN. Show show IP interface brief, and you can see our port. This is still down, but it will come up eventually. It might take a couple of seconds, but it will. Show VLAN brief, and you can see this port is assigned to VLAN 30 as well. Okay, we are still configuring the switch, so let me just go back inside. Okay, so VLAN 30 come up, you can see that. That's good. It just interrupted me, but my thought, what I was thinking about is we are still configuring the side of the switch. Yeah, so we configure configuring the VLANs and configure assigning these VLANs to the right port and give them an IP address. So what we need is we need to configure this bit now. Okay, so I will convert this interface to a trunk, and this interface in here I will create sub interfaces. I will show you what I mean. It's really easy concept once you lab it. Yeah, if someone is explaining it, it's really hard to grasp the whole concept, but once someone show you that this is how you do it, it's easy. So I will convert this port to a trunk, so .1q, and the way you you convert it, you use this command, switch port trunk encapsulation .1q, and you need to enable the trunk, which is switch port mode trunk, enter. Okay, so we'll go to the router and go inside global configuration, and once we go inside the port, we will not do anything other than no shutdown. We will just bring the port up. Yeah, that's all we need to do, and exit out of here. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go inside interface again, not inside, but just write down interface 0/0 dot, then we will create sub interfaces .10. Once we have .10 is related to VLAN 10, so that number I gave because I have a VLAN 10. And what I will do is I will only convert this to trunking first, so encapsulation .1q, and I will just assign it to the VLAN, obviously VLAN number. No, don't write VLAN, so I will assign to the VLAN number, enter, and I will give the IP address. So VLAN 10, the IP address I give to VLAN 10 was 17.10.2. so now I will give this .1 255.255.255.0. okay, and okay, good. No shut, it was up, but I'll just do no shut just to be sure. Okay, let's go and create the same thing one more time, obviously different number, .30 encapsulation .1q VLAN 30, and IP address, you just put the IP address of VLAN 30, which was 30.10.1 255.255.255.0, and you press enter, no shut. If you look at it here, show IP interface brief, you will see sub interfaces. You see, so I have those two sub interfaces. This is the physical interface, and this is the rest of from here is physical interfaces, but these two are sub interfaces. They're both up and they have the IP addresses that I want them to have. Okay, so if we go back to our topology, I will assign manually an IP address to BC1 and IP address to BC2, and these two IP addresses will be from VLAN 30 and VLAN 10. Yeah, so these two VLANs, if this trunk did not exist, they wouldn't be able to communicate. Yeah, they won't be able to do this at all. They would have been separated. Yeah, but now the router is doing the routing, so it will just route everything between them. Okay, let's go back to our console and go to the PC, and these PCs I'm using, they are nothing special. They are the basic PCs which come with GNS3. Well, all I need is the PC to have the capability to ping and give IP address. So this does it. What I will do is I will just write IP. That this is how you give IP address to these virtual PCs. IP, and you write down the full IP, obviously 17.10. and I will give different number, and /24 you need to give /24, and the default gateway. The default gateway is VLAN 10. Okay, so it should be .2, enter. It will check if there is any duplicate IP addresses on this IP address. It means if there is any other node in VLAN 10 that have this .3. So now it's success. Okay, let's go to BC2 and do the same thing. 172.30.10.3/24, and we will give this IP address as a default gateway, yeah, which is the VLAN 2. I will press enter, and these two PCs now, they should be able to ping each other. Okay, so if I ping 172.17.10.3, which is this PC, you can see that if I press enter, yes, it's success. So our network is up and it's good. So let's go to PC1 and ping the other side. So 172.30.10.3, enter, and it's success. So that's good. That's good. You can see it's 5 out of 5. So okay, let's go to HQ. Let's go to, yeah, we are in HQ. So show IP route. Should we see anything? No, shouldn't see, but we can see all the IP addresses that's locally connected to the, and their interfaces, yeah, locally connected obviously to the router, which is HQ. And yeah, that's all about it. Thanks for watching.